Your first step is going to be to decide what emotion you want your sculpture to show. I've picked joy. Next, what you're going to do is create a couple body breakdown sketches or gesture sketches to plan the way that you want your sculpture to look, or the way that the body will look. And this should express the emotion that you chose to show. So I'm trying to draw figures that express the emotion joy through body language. Cut along these lines to make each part of your figure. Once you've cut your aluminum foil, it's time to start creating your figure. I'm going ahead here and labeling each of the parts of the body for you guys, just so that it's clear. You don't need to label yours when you're making it. What you're going to do is start to lightly crumple each of the extremities, such as the arms and the legs and the head. When I did this, I didn't really think too much about it. I just kind of started a light crumple. So now you can see we have a pretty basic human type figure getting formed, and now what I'm doing is just defining the features a bit more by pinching and twisting the foil where I think it's necessary. As I form the figure, I'm also keeping in mind the final pose that I want the person to be in. So I'm starting to shape my sculpture into the final pose. That way I don't have to move them around too much once I have them ready to go. I think the sculpture will be stronger if you form them right into the pose you had planned out, instead of just making a human form and then bending it. What I'm going to do now is use other pieces of foil to reinforce any weak spots, as well as to add a bit more body to the character. So the rest of the sculpture is going to basically be using extra foil to reinforce the weak points and to develop more form on your character. So I'm going to go ahead and add more foil to reinforce the legs, the arms, the neck, build out that head, and add a bit more to the midsection, the thighs. And you can watch me do this and as you make your own. Here I start using my nails to create some rudimentary facial forms, such as deepening where the eye sockets could be, a little bit of definition around the nose bridge, and a bit of a smile. And I'm basically just pressing into the foil with my nail to form some, semblance of a face. So this process takes a bit, so let's skip on. Here is my final character, all built out. When you use hot glue, you're going to need to be careful not to touch it. It is obviously hot. So put a small dot and then place your figure on top of the dot and hold it for a few seconds so that it can firm up and dry before you release it. Now what I'm going to do is use a flashlight to create a shadow on my base and use a pen or pencil to trace around that shadow. This was pretty hard to do on my own, so I suggest using a shoulder partner to steady your sculpture while you trace, and someone else to hold the light so that it doesn't move. I had a little bit of trouble with this, but I think it turned out all right in the end. The next step is going to be to color in your previously defined shadow. Now, I kind of got creative and made up my own shapes for the outline because my shadow wasn't very defined. I think that if I had a partner to help me with the previous step, tracing the shadow, it would be a lot clearer. So I want you guys to do the previous step with a partner. And then you're just going to color in that shadow using a marker. And here's the finished product. I may give you guys some colored paper for the base and just make a little more fancy. But I hope you had fun creating with me. Have a good day.